It's match day in the UEFA Champions League as Chelsea take a long trip to Azerbaijan to face Qarabag in the UEFA Champions League. The round 4 of the UEFA Champions League kicked off last night with a couple of matches that went down. But today, my darling club Chelsea will face Qarabag in the UEFA Champions League tonight. So, going into this particular encounter, if we take a look at the UEFA Champions League standing, Qarabag currently sits 15th in the UEFA Champions League standing, while Chelsea are currently sitting 13th in the UEFA Champions League standing, with goal difference that separates both teams. Chelsea +3 in terms of goals, and while Qarabag is +1 in terms of goal difference as well. So going into this particular game, it's not going to be a write-off for the Azerbaijan champion, talking about Qarabag. Now, if we take a look at Qarabag are coming into this game with a decent form from the Azerbaijan Premier League as they currently sit second in their Premier League standing. And in the UEFA Champions League, Qarabag have not done so badly. Like I said, they have actually played 3 games. They've won 2 and lost 1. Their loss came in round 3 when they traveled to Spain to take on Athletic Bilbao and were defeated 3-1 in that particular encounter. But their first 2 games in the UEFA Champions League, I saw them pick 6 points when they traveled to Portugal to defeat Benfica with what was described as an historic comeback in that particular game. Qarabag defeated Benfica away from home by 3-2 after coming from 2 goals down. And in the second leg, in front of their home fan, Qarabag defeated FC Copenhagen to actually have 6 points. So out of possible 9 points, Qarabag have picked 6 points. Same as Chelsea. Chelsea began their Champions League campaign away from home as they traveled to Allianz Arena to face Bayern Munich. And Chelsea were defeated by 3-1 by a very poor performance that the team put up in that particular encounter. All 3 goals scored by Bayern Munich in that particular encounter was Chelsea giveaway. It was a giveaway. Chelsea actually gave Bayern mistakes, cost us that particular game. And Chelsea came into the next round of the UEFA Champions League against Jose Mourinho Benfica at Stamford Bridge, as Chelsea had a 1-0 victory over Jose Mourinho Benfica. And in round 3, Chelsea defeated Ajax by 5-1 in that particular encounter. So Chelsea currently have 6 points and Qarabag also have 6 points. Now, head-to-head between Qarabag and Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club have faced Qarabag in the old format of the UEFA Champions League in 2017 when both teams were placed in Group C, and Chelsea defeated Qarabag by 10-0 on goals aggregate over both legs. At home, Chelsea defeated them by 6-0, and away from home, Chelsea defeated them 4-0. So aggregates 10-0 in 2017. So within that time, from 2017 to 2025, a lot have actually evolved when it comes to football. And currently, the UEFA Champions League have actually taken a shift with this new format, having 36 clubs participating in the UEFA Champions League group phase, with 1 to 8 qualifying automatically, and 9 to 24 will be paired in a playoff round of both legs, home and away. So, going into this game, I expect Chelsea to pick all 3 points. In fact, it's a must-win for Chelsea. It's a must-win, and I expect Chelsea to defeat Qarabag by a heavy scoreline going into this particular game. That's just what we want to see. And Chelsea stand a chance of going into top 5 or top 6 in the UEFA Champions League standing if we can defeat Qarabag by 3 or 4 goals to nothing. Because currently, Real Madrid are +6 and they sit in 5th position when it comes to goal difference, while Chelsea are +3, and Liverpool also are +5 with 8 points. So Chelsea stand a chance to go into the top 8 with a heavy win against Qarabag tonight. So we'll see how that will play out after 90 minutes of that particular encounter tonight. Now, going into this game, Enzo Maresca had his press conference yesterday, and Enzo Maresca was asked some couple of questions. And when Enzo Maresca was asked about Cole Palmer, here is what Enzo Maresca said. I would love to have Cole Palmer here tomorrow, and for every game. Unfortunately, he is injured, but for sure, we want him back very soon. It still shows that Cole Palmer is out with injury, so he will not be part of the Qarabag game tonight. Enzo Maresca actually expressed how he feels. It would have been nice to have Cole Palmer being part of this particular encounter, but unfortunately, Cole Palmer is out injured with groin injury, and very soon we will have him back. And report is flying that Cole Palmer might just be back pretty soon before the game, before our Champions League match against FC Barcelona. So we wait to see how that will definitely play out, because the same thing actually played out when it comes to Liam Delap. Liam Delap was ruled to come back possibly by December or January, but Liam Delap currently is back with the team. In fact, he actually had his game when he returned from injury in the round 4 of the EFL Cup against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molyneux Stadium. But it wasn't a good night for Liam Delap, as he put up a very childish and stupid attitude that actually saw him pick a red card in that particular encounter coming back from injury. So we hope to see if Cole Palmer will be back soon, as report is having it. So Enzo Maresca was also asked about Dario Esugo, one midfielder that actually got injured and was operated upon. And here's what Enzo Maresca said concerning Dario Esugo. He's still out for a while. Probably we need to wait, but maybe December or January. So possible return date for Dario Esugo might just be December or January, according to Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca was also asked about Jorgensen, if he will start the game against Qarabag. And yes, Enzo Maresca's response. It could be an option. Yes, we need both keepers ready. And in the end, we need to treat Robert in a similar way we deal with different players. It's that simple. What Enzo Maresca is indirectly saying is that he's going to rotate. And the way he actually treats players when it comes to rotation, he will definitely do that with the goalkeepers. And I definitely know for sure that Enzo Maresca is going to rotate. But while doing your rotation, in my opinion, make sure you create a balance in your team selection so we don't suffer. Against Qarabag is an all-important game. There is no doubt about that. So Enzo Maresca was also asked about Reece James, if he can actually play 3 games in a week. And here is what Enzo Maresca responded. Reece is good. He is doing well. He is fit 100%. The way he has behaved every game is top. Even when he is not playing, the way he is with his teammates in the dressing room, in the way we use Reece, we don't use him up and down. It's a big job to do. It's a big job to do that when we use a fullback in different way. He is ready to play 3 games in a week. Enzo Maresca, I think I love this. That was quite interesting to hear. And the way the club has actually managed Reece James with his injury, I want to believe that it's an excellent job that has been done. And currently, when we watch Reece James play, a couple of matches he has played, we saw the fitness, we saw the aggressiveness, we saw the confidence in the team, in our team captain. So Reece James currently is very fit, 100% fit, just like the manager said. And the manager actually stated it, is fit to the point of playing 3 games in a week. Enzo Maresca was asked about Liam Delap, and here's what he said. Liam is back. He's an important player for us. He's an option for tomorrow. I don't have any doubt that at the end of the season that he will be very happy with Liam. We will be very happy with Liam in terms of goals and the way he walks off the ball. No doubt he's going to help us. Absolutely. That's the more reason why he was signed. Nothing else. We signed Liam Delap to score goals for us, and that is just what we want to see. So far, we have not seen that, but excellently, he has a very good work rate. We have actually seen that in a couple of matches, right from the FIFA Club World Cup, and also in the game against West Ham in the Premier League. We saw the good work, we saw the good combination, we saw the pairing, we saw the link-up of play between Liam Delap and Pedro. And that is one thing we hope to be seeing mostly in our games, how Liam Delap and Pedro can easily connect. So it's good to hear that Liam Delap is available for selection for the game against Qarabag. Enzo Maresca was asked. Enzo Maresca on performing in the bigger games, but drop off in smaller games. Yes, Enzo Maresca's response is the way we try to deal with all of the details of the game. Qarabag have won 2 games like us. They are a very good team and are organized. It's going to be a tough game. Definitely. It's the UEFA Champions League, and of course there is no pushover when it comes to this competition. In as much as we have the big boys talking about the big clubs, but then every club, every game is important. Just like the manager said, Qarabag is a very good team. They have won 2 games just like us. They have 6 points. The only difference between Qarabag and Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League standing is just goal difference. While we have +3, they have +1. So going into this game is going to be a very tough one. And just like the manager said, I agree. Because the last time we met Qarabag was in 2017, like I said earlier, in the old format of the UEFA Champions League. Over 2 legs, Chelsea defeated them by 10-0 on goals aggregate. So it's going to be a different ball game. It is not that Qarabag of 2017 we are facing today, but then we have to show the superiority of being a world champion and also of being a club that plays in the best league in the world. So going into this game, like Enzo Maresca said, it's going to be a very tough game. Enzo Maresca was also asked about Romeo Lavia on his physicality, and yes, Enzo Maresca's take. The main target for Romeo is now to be fit. Don't get any injury for me. Don't get any injuries. For me, in this moment, Romeo is where he was more or less 1 year ago in terms of being back after a long time. We need to manage him all the time. The target for him is to keep him fit. We need to be very careful with him because we don't want him to be out again. And finally, we can enjoy being a footballer. And that is just it. I think that the last statement there was meant to say that he will enjoy being a footballer. And I think Chelsea have actually done a good job when it comes to Reece James, managing his injury till the point that Reece James currently is fully fit and ready to go game week in, week out. And just like the manager said, it's the responsibility of the club to manage, of the manager to manage the player. And I want to believe Romeo Lavia, if fully managed and get back his fitness, man, Chelsea can take on any team. Chelsea can go into any game confidently with no issue, knowing fully well that after Moses Caicedo, we still have another firepower in Romeo Lavia going into games, and that will be very good for us as a team. So, Enzo Maresca has made us understood in his press conference, notable absentee going into this game still remain Cole Palmer, Dario Sugo, Bernard Badiachile, and also Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, I really don't know whether he sustained an injury, but then Pedro Neto is not part of the traveling squad to Azerbaijan to take on Qarabag. So, having said that, these are the squad lists available or that actually travel to take on Qarabag in the UEFA Champions League round 4. And Chelsea traveling squad for Qarabag: goalkeepers Philip Jorgensen, Max Merrick, and Robert Sanchez. Defenders include George Achapong, Tosin Adarabioyo, Trevor Chalobah, Mark Cucurella, Wesley Fofana, Malo Gusto, Jorel Ato, and Reece James. The midfielders are Facundo Banonote, Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, Moses Caicedo, and Andre Santos. While the forwards are Liam Delap, Alejandro Garnacho, Tariq Jones, Jamie Gittins, McGew, João Pedro, and Estavo William. So those are the Chelsea traveling squad for tonight's encounter against Qarabag. So having said that, this will be my predicted 11 going into this game. I'll make my predicted 11 according to the manager's press conference. I know there's definitely going to be a rotation of the player, but I think the manager should try as much as to create a balance when it comes to his team selection. What we need is all 3 points, and also with a very good scoreline, because looking at the table, goal difference will go a long way in determining those that finish in the automatic slots when it comes to the UEFA Champions League standing. So, in goal, I'll go with Jorgensen. The fullback, I'll go with Mark Cucurella and Reece James. The centre-back pairing, I'll go with George Achampong and Trevor Chalobah. The midfield pivot, I'll go with Moses Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. While the attacking midfield throw, I'll go with the left wing, I'll go with Jamie Gittins. The central attacking midfielder, I will go with João Pedro, and in the right wing, I will go with Estavo William. Up front will be Liam Delap. That will be my predicted 11 going into this particular encounter. And why I actually make this selection, a lot of people will say it's Qarabag. Why put in all your strength? No. I know our next Premier League game in the Premier League is against Wolves, of course. But then, if these players can get the job done in the first half, by the 60-minute mark, the manager can make some changes. But we just need a comfortable win away from home against Qarabag. So, and that is why I've actually put up this selection. In goal is Jorgensen. The full-back is Mark Cucurella and Reece James. The midfield pivot is Moses Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. The attacking midfield throw, left wing is Jimmy Gittin. The central attacking midfield row, I will go with João Pedro, while the right wing will be Estavo William. Up front will be Liam Delap. If the job is done in the first half, before the 1 hour mark, the manager can actually make some changes. Liam Delap can come up for McGew, and also Reece James can also come up for Malo Gusto. And also, Chelsea can also bring João Pedro out for Facundo Banonote. So that will be my selected 11 going into this particular encounter. Prediction. I want Chelsea to defeat Qarabag convincingly in order to get that needed goals to count for us. I say 4-1 win over Qarabag. Chelsea will defeat Qarabag by 4-1 going into this particular encounter. What will be your own score prediction going into this particular game? Drop your thoughts down below. Also, in the UEFA Champions League, other games that will kick off tonight is Villarreal will visit Paphos at Cyprus. Chelsea versus Qarabag. Those are the two early kickoff by 6:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Ajax versus Galatasaray. Benfica versus Leverkusen. Club Brugge versus Barcelona. Inter Milan versus Kairat Almaty. Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund. That will definitely going to be a tough one. Olympic Marseille versus Atlanta. And Newcastle will play host to Atletico Bilbao. So, what do you make of all the games going down? Drop your predictions down below. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.